Howdy folks, welcome back. We are here in New Bark Town, as you can clearly see. The town where our journey started so long ago. Let's see if Cherry is nostalgic as well. Good and sleepy. Alright, well, that's nice and all, but Cherry, if you don't mind, let's try to wake ourselves up here because we have a big adventure ahead of us. It is, what is today? Wednesday night. And we are going to set off for the Pokemon League. Oh, you want to see the Pokemon? Well, actually don't have Olive with me, so I'm not sure. He's telling me about going to the Pokemon League. Yep, that's the plan. Let's see Mom before we leave, though. I think he does give you something if you show him Togepi, but I don't know if there is a PC in town. Maybe in my room? I know in Red and Blue there's a PC that allows you to take items out. This is just mail. What does Lear have to say? Oh, this is the original mail from so long ago when our journey was just beginning. And now here we are, 8 badges in our pocket, ready to take on the Pokemon League. Aren't you proud, Mom? You're doing fine, I see. I've kept your room tidy and clean. Or is this about your money? That's right, we told her not to keep our money, which is good, because I would have totally forgotten, so no. I do not want to interact with the Bank of Mom. I think our money has come in actually rather handy. I'm proud of myself for actually spending it on things we need, like max repels and fresh waters and TMs and the like. Normally I just hoard money till the end of the game and then don't end up spending it, or I use it on Game Corner coins, but not an option here. Also, today is Wednesday, so I could go back to Lake of Rage and get those items, but I looked it up on the wiki, and there's like a full restore there and 1 or 2 other like healing items, but not a lot of good stuff, so I'm not too worried about it. Hey! Do you know what you just did? You've taken your first step into Kanto. Check your Pokegear map and see. Alright, let's do it, guys. Like I said, there is a whole other half of the game, although it's probably the shorter half, so to speak. It's still a lot of fun. Oh, and Tay and Raikou are both trying to come with us, I guess. We will certainly catch those two at some point, but probably later on once our Gengar is trained up a little. Gengar is resting at the daycare, hopefully getting some XP from our journey. So as you can see, we'll be heading quite a ways to go. We have Route 27, including Waterfall Cave, which I think is a pretty short cave. Probably one of the shortest in Johto. Then Route 26, which is unimaginably difficult. And they don't have it marked. Oh, here it is, Victory Road. We won't be able to go till Route 28 and Mount Silver, till the grand finale of the game, once we've done pretty much everything else there is to do. So we'll save that for the very end of the Let's Play. But we will be heading to Indigo Plateau, which is quite a challenge and should be a lot of fun. So we are in Kanto, but we actually can't see Kanto. At least not the main part. This is the same Victory Road and the same Indigo Plateau from Generation 1. If you guys are familiar with that. Alright, well thank you for the intro to Kanto. So there's a house there, which I think is actually a house that you can stop at to heal your Pokemon. Not that we'll actually need healing for a little while yet. And I think this might be like an item over here. I don't think it's a shortcut. This is going to be a very long and grueling challenge, but I really like those kind of routes. They're always the most fun. It makes it feel like a real test as you make your way to the Pokemon League, just like in the anime they have to fight many other trainers. And we will of course be fighting many other trainers and maybe a few wild Pokemon as well, but I'll probably use some repels as we get a little bit closer. Rare candy, okay, that will definitely help us. We still won't use those to probably the end of the game. I think our Pokemon are at a pretty good level right now, and if you include all the XP we're going to get from these next few episodes, I think we should be in a pretty good position by the time we get to the Pokemon League. Like I said before, I'll probably train them up to level 42 if they're not already there, but depending on how many fights we go through, we may not have to. I was hoping that on one of these higher routes we might have like Tentacruel or, I don't know, some more interesting Pokemon, but apparently that is not the case. Let's hope we don't need Flash. Tohjo Falls, that's right. Also known as Waterfall Cave, and if you think about it, Tohjo is Kanto plus Johto. If you put them together, it becomes Tohjo. Alright, now we don't have Gyarados with us, as you can see. We do have Ho-Oh. I did teach Ho-Oh Fly and Strength. Fly for convenience, and Strength because I think we're going to need it in Victory Road. What I decided to do, rather than keep Ho-Oh and Gyarados with us, although I guess Gyarados could learn Strength, and we wouldn't have Fly, I figured it wouldn't be really a big deal to go ahead and teach Waterfall to Leah. I do have to get rid of Blizzard, but I'll be replacing Blizzard with... actually, no, I don't have Blizzard, I have Yawn. So we won't be catching any other Pokemon for a little bit yet. So even though Yawn is actually a pretty good competitive move, as you've seen in the earlier episodes, Waterfall might have its uses if we fight a good special Pokemon like a Snorlax or a Chansey or Blissey maybe. But more importantly, it'll allow us to climb waterfalls. But first, this brief interruption from a wild Slowpoke. Okay. Something a little different. I guess you can come here as soon as you know Surf, so the Pokemon here aren't too high level. Once we get past Route 26 onto Route 27, I imagine Pokemon will be a lot stronger. Really, they could be stronger up here, but I don't think they really break the Pokemon up in different parts of a cave. Not unless you go through a cave into a different section, or up a ladder to a different floor. Alright, so let's go ahead and use our first Max Repel here. If we get into some grass, I might let it expire and see what we run into. It's always interesting seeing what Pokemon they let you challenge as preparations for the Pokemon League. And if you feel like your Pokemon are a little underleveled, then Victory Road is a very good place to train your Pokemon. Where are my repels? There they are, right in front of me. Every once in a while, you'll be trying to train a Pokemon like a Fire type that's not good against the types you tend to find in Victory Road, which are normally Rock and Ground types, sometimes Golbats, actually oftentimes Golbats. So in that case, sometimes it's more beneficial to train them in the grassy routes, like right here. So if we're training up Cian, for example, we might want to train him here instead of, or by here I mean the grassy area outside of this route, as opposed to in Victory Road itself, but it probably will not come to that. I remember in Pokemon X, I did like a montage of training our Pokemon for the Pokemon League, because I felt like they weren't quite ready yet. Alright, I think we might have our first trainer battle. Looks like an Ace Trainer, or Cool Trainer, whatever they're called here. It's rare to see anyone come here. Are you training on your own? Of course I'm not training on my own, I'm training with my Pokemon. She has 3, hopefully they're formidable. Oh, I think I remember her. I think it's a Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, and Venusaur. So maybe not the best matchup for Cherry, but Return should do a lot of damage. Our friendship is very high at this point. And Cherry's attack stat is or was higher than its special attack. So Return will do definitely more damage in this scenario. And even in general, if it wasn't for stat, Return would do more damage. It's only the same type of attack bonus that makes Petal Dance a little more powerful. So let's use a few more returns. It was very smart of her Growlithe to use Growl, or her Bulbasaur to use Growl, and very smart of her Ivysaur to use Powder. I'll get it right, to use Poison Powder. It's only like 10 o'clock, it's not even that late tonight. You'd think I'd be able to speak. Because being unevolved, her Bulbasaur can't do a lot. And even her Ivysaur, this probably won't do very much. But if you use Growl to lower my attack, that'll help her later Pokemon, and Poison Powder will do a decent bit of damage. Let's use... Let's use Reflect. And then I'm going to use a Synthesis to heal up. Because Petal Dance, even if it crits, won't do very much to us. And then we can finish off Ivysaur and go into the Venusaur battle with some more health left. Ooh, and Ivysaur's confused. Even better. Might end up defeating itself. Normally I'd feel very confident in a Cherry versus Venusaur matchup, but because Cherry's poisoned and because its attack has been lowered by that Growl. Alright, let's go ahead and use one more Synthesis, because Ivysaur might finish off itself, which would be ideal, and if not, a Return will definitely finish it next turn. Come on. Yes, luck was with us here. Not that we really needed it, but it's always nice. Alright, I'll bet you anything this is Venusaur. Well, not anything, but almost anything. Alright, level 32, newly evolved. I think Venusaur evolves at level 32, whereas Charizard and Blastoise evolve at 36. So our Reflect should help us resist any of Venusaur's physical attacks. And its only special attacks are probably grass attacks, yep, like Petal Dance, which are not very effective. If it wasn't for the poison, this would be an easy win. With the poison, we might have to use Synthesis, which will make things a little bit longer, but should still be a win. That was a critical hit. Nicely done, Cherry. That did a lot even for a crit. Must have been a... Oh, that's right, because critical hits ignore the attack drop from Growl. So that was doubly beneficial. And Cherry hit level 38. Oh, you're really strong. Of course I am. I'm about to take on the Pokemon League. She's checking out pre- and post-evolution Pokemon. Evaluating their benefits and limitations. Alright. Now, I'm pretty sure she heals your Pokemon, which is, again, kind of pointless, because we've really only faced one trainer and maybe some wild Pokemon. Are your Pokemon loyal enough for you to win? I think so. It's nice to see a good trainer. Here's a gift. Oh, okay, so it's not a healing area. It's a TM house. What is that? Sandstorm. Okay. Well, that's interesting. But I wouldn't use Sandstorm unless you really had a Sandstorm team. We are going to incidentally have Sandstorm around a lot because once Kroot evolves into Tyranitar, its ability will automatically summon Sandstorms. That makes Tyranitar a very good addition to a team based around rock and ground and steel types. As you can see, I've grown a few more Chesto Berries, and our Orum Berries we've received from the contest. Let's heal up Cherry just in case. We have plenty of berries. I want to use up those Orum Berries just so we can get these citrus berries back on the first page, although I guess now there's Pearson Berries in the way. One cool thing about Chesto Berries is that there's a strategy you can use them for, which used to be very popular back in like Gen 3 and 4, when Rest was a really good move. Rest is a move that can be learned by almost any Pokemon, pretty much any Pokemon that can learn TMs. Let's heal off the poison, and let's go ahead and switch out to Rod, since he's only level 36 at the moment. Could use a little bit of catch-up time. So a strategy that's pretty popular, because Rest, it heals you all the way, and it restores your status conditions. So it's pretty much the only move that can restore both HP and status in the same turn. Still have our Max Repel going. So you could use Pokemon like Wish and Refresh, or Recover and Refresh, but that was 2 move slots. Rest would do it in only 1. However, the downside is that Rest makes your Pokemon fall asleep for, I think it's 2 turns or 2 to 3 turns. So a popular strategy was to give your Pokemon a, what's it called? The Sleep Berry. Already forgot its name. Chesto Berry. In fact, Chesto Rest was the name of the strategy. And it was really good for like a Snorlax. You could give it a Chesto Berry, and you wouldn't want to give it a Lum Berry because you would rely on Rest to heal up your status moves. You don't want it to activate too soon. Because, for example, if an opponent used Thunder Wave on your Snorlax, who's a slow Pokemon, the Lum Berry would be used, and then Snorlax would use Rest, and then it has to sleep for 2 whole turns. It would be very nice to use a Chesto Berry right now. But I'm not going to. I'm going to see if Rod can withstand this Execute's attack. I think we can, although it might know Psychic. Confusion. That's only a 40 base power Psychic attack, so it will be super effective, but yeah, it didn't do that much damage. Now it can confuse us, and Rod can be asleep and confused at the same time. Alright, not quite at half of our HP yet, and we should wake up pretty soon. I think the next turn we have to wake up. It's a really good thing that this Execute does not know Psychic, and that it's not getting any critical attacks. Alright, so while he is super effective against us, Rod is also super effective against Execute. And there we go. Yeah, the strategy of Rest plus Chesto kind of went the way of the dodo, though, as the generations came on and more powerful Pokemon and more powerful strategies took hold. It is nice to see that Snorlax is actually still a really good Pokemon in at least competitive 2v2 battles. It's always been a Pokemon that I've that I've liked a lot. It wasn't really ever one of my favorites. It's one of my cousins. It's his favorite, but I don't know. I've always liked it, but it's never been like my favorite Pokemon until Pokemon Go. I was very lucky. Ooh, hold that thought. Close combat. That is a very good fighting type move. That is a move I intend to have on Rod until the end of the game. It is. Let me just show it to you before I go back. 120 base power and 100% accuracy, so a very tough move. The drawback is that it lowers your defense and special defense each time you use it. But the idea is that it'll do so much damage that your opponent will never get a chance to attack you, and the defense drops will not matter. So you can see it goes from 75 to 120. That is a big increase. And that's good too, because I was looking at Rod's moveset, thinking like these moves they're okay, but for this stage in the game, they're kind of low base power. So I'm glad we now have a really powerful stab fighting attack. So my very first night playing Pokemon Go, or at least my first night like really playing, I got a 10k egg and I walked in enough for it to hatch, but the game was like really glitchy, it was always crashing. So for whatever reason I didn't see the egg hatch. And I got home and I was looking at my Pokemon to see what I had caught, and I saw that I had a Snorlax, and it was a low-level Snorlax because I was, of course, very low level then. Berries. But I was almost thinking it was some kind of glitch, and I got in somebody else's Snorlax, or the game thought I caught one when I hadn't. And I was even like, do I release the Snorlax? Because I didn't want to have like a Pokemon that I got by a bug. It didn't feel fair, and I wanted to have like my own team of Pokemon. And then it finally occurred to me, wait a minute. No, that should be good enough. The egg I had must have hatched into Snorlax, so I realized what had happened, and that's exactly what happened. And I still have that Snorlax. He is fully maxed out at this point. And one of my fondest memories of Pokemon Go in the early days was when everybody else still had like Raticates and Pidgeots and Golducks, and the gyms were just filled with them. And I had a Snorlax, which was incredibly powerful. He has a level 35 Mary, but that's kind of sad. If he's only going to have one Pokemon, make it like an Ampharos. I want to show off close combat, but I'm also worried about being paralyzed. Let's just go for it. It's only a 30% chance. And if I do get paralyzed, I can always just use a berry after the battle is over. Yeah. Definitely a one-shot on Mareep, being an unevolved Pokemon. That was no trouble at all. Just as I thought. Yeah, what is it with these guys and not evolving their Pokemon? Let me just see if there's any, like, items down here. You would think that if they're going to challenge the Pokemon League... Ah, there's a Whirlpool. Drats. I don't want to teach Kingdra Whirlpool, because I'd have to override like Rain Dance or Dragon Pulse. 2 Whirlpools. And I can't get Rain Dance back because I've already used the TM for it, and the Move Relearner does not restore TM moves, only moves they learn by leveling up. So I couldn't get that back unless I like traded a Rain Dance from a different game or something. I was thinking there might be an item here, but I have to make sure I can click on it without Rob being there. Nope. Huh. Just a random little ledge. Alright then. Kingdra does learn Dragon Pulse, so I think I could probably level it up to learn Dragon Pulse, or maybe use the Move Relearner, but I'm worried that it might be higher than level 42, in which case I don't want to go into the Pokemon League not knowing Dragon Pulse on my Kingdra. That would be not ideal. Just checking it out, seeing what's over here. No items yet. But we have encountered a wild Pokemon. Eradicate. Alright, that'll be level 28, not bad. That'll be some easy experience. In fact, not bad at all considering that trainers are only slightly higher than that. Ooh, Sucker Punch. Good move, Wild Eradicate. So, since I'm not going to teach Kingdra Whirlpool, what I think I'll probably do is just make a little note here, and I'll come back and get those items, maybe off screen, with our Gyarados. It is Wednesday, I could go to Lake of Rage and get those items. Oh, I already said that, didn't I? But they're not really anything worth going back to get. Alright, so we can grab this item. I was thinking it might be like a rock climb thing. Destiny Knot. What does that do? Is that like, if your Pokemon... Not now, Ralph. If your Pokemon becomes infatuated, they become infatuated as well, or something like that? Yeah, okay. Interesting thing. You might be able to use this against like Whitney, but it's kind of too late at this point. Was there something up here? Or is it just down? Just down, okay. And I bet there's a hidden item over here. There is revive. Okay. I'll take it. It might come in handy at some point. In fact, I'll probably buy a bunch of revives before the Pokemon League. Not to use during battle, because I want them to be fun. Oh, this guy must be a Psychic. This could be hard because we have a Fighting type as our lead. It is a Bug type. It doesn't know any Bug type moves, though. But at least he does know Shadow Claw, so... While Rod will not get stabbed from that, it will be super effective. Let's see how Rod does against level 30 Starmie. See, now Starmie's a good Pokemon. Now this is getting interesting. It's very fast, has good special attack, solid stats, great move pool. All around a very effective Pokemon. One I would definitely use more often if there weren't so many good water types from Gen 1. Alright, well that is not a great way to start. It looks like we might be lucky though. Starmie might not know any Psychic type attacks. Otherwise, why would it use Swift? Alright, Rod got off an attack. I don't think it'll one-shot it, but it should do more than half. Whoa, it did! Good job, Rod. Way to prove me wrong. Alright, decent chunk of XP there. Girafarig, ooh, okay, I mentioned this a while ago. Girafarig is actually a Psychic and Normal type, so it will not take any damage from a ghost attack like Shadow Claw. That negates its weakness from Psychic. But it will take even damage from close combat, because fighting is not very effective against Psychic, but is super effective against Normal. So I would think this would be a one-shot, because Girafarig is not the strongest Pokemon in the world. And Rod gets stabbed from it. It's a huge power attack, and Rod has a very high attack stat to begin with. And an Execute. We beat one of those, we can probably beat another. It's funny that we're on the trail of the Pokemon League, and we've already seen 2 Execute. Not a lot of diversity here. It's like at last the developers can give these trainers almost any Pokemon they want to. The whole idea is to make it a challenge, and they give them all Execute. But that's okay. Still a fun battle. Rod did pretty well. There's a Pokemon Center up ahead. But at the same time, I feel like I've grown all these berries, might as well use some of them. Keep our Pokemon nice and healthy as we go through the Pokemon League. And berries are a lot cheaper than revives. Every revive we save here is a revive we can not have to purchase before the Pokemon League. Alright, so I think have we started over here? I guess not. Where I would have found this area. Watch there be another whirlpool over here. Yep. Oh, that might just be the same whirlpool we saw from the other side. So I guess if you have a whirlpool, you can kind of shortcut this place, but we don't. Close combat's not very effective against Tentacool. It would probably be a one-shot anyway, but I'm not going to risk it. Alright. Another cool trainer. Let's see what she has in her team. You came from New Barktown? You must be exhausted. Exhausted? I'm just getting started. We're barely beginning our Victory Road journey. Haven't even reached Victory Road yet. Okay, Growlithe is not a good lead as far as this goes for me, because it has Intimidate, which lowers my attack, and being a fire type, it is super effective against Heracross. Level 36, now we're talking though. These cool trainers are nothing to sneeze at. Luckily we have Rock Tomb, which is super effective. Of course, it's only base power 50, so didn't do that much damage. Flamethrower is going to do a lot of damage to Rod, but I'm pretty sure he can survive it, as long as it's not a crit. Alright, and don't get burned. Okay, good. So, let's see. Rocked. I don't know if Shadow Claw will be a one-shot. It'd be really, really close, because Rock Tomb is effectively base power 100, because it's super effective. I'm gonna... Oh, I was afraid it would miss. I was gonna say play it safe. And I'm sure this will finish me off, otherwise I would have used Flamethrower again. Alright, it's okay, Rod. You've been doing so far so good. Let's send out Leah. Actually, let's out Kroot. Water is the instinctive matchup against fire types, but people tend to forget that Rock is also a very good matchup against fire types, as is Ground. Ground does not resist fire, but it is super effective against fire. Reversal, that is, I think, a dark type move. But we are not going to get the chance to find out. There is a crit that we definitely did not need. And poor Kroot here will be our one Pokemon that will not be fully evolved when we face the Pokemon League. Staryu. So he has actually a pretty good team, but it's as far as types go. But Not a good team as far as evolutions go. Like, if this was like Arcanine Starmie and a grass type like Executor, that would be a great team. Watch him if Execute, that'd be funny. Wow, a one-shot, I didn't expect that. I knew it would do a lot being super effective, doubly super effective, but these unevolved Pokemon are tearing my team apart. Alright, Cherry. At least the fire type has been defeated. He probably doesn't have two. And it's funny too how we see a Staryu and we just saw a Starmie. Like, you think, again, they would give him more diversity. Now the downside to Petal Dances will probably be locked into a grass type attack facing a grass type Pokemon. Nidorina, okay, would not have guessed that. Not a great Pokemon to use Petal Dance against. Luckily Nidorina doesn't really have a great move pool. Nidoqueen has a really great move pool, but Nidorina does not, so yeah, Poison Sting is super effective, but the main downside to it is that it has a high chance of poisoning me. Alright, we got a little lucky there. And, okay, it wasn't a good damage spread. And I think that was our third Petal Dance, which means we will now be confused. Yep. Alright. Oh, I did not mean to do that, but not really a big deal. Nidorina is so low that a Petal Dance will take it out. Alright, well done, Cherry. Good job cleaning things up. Alright, well, since there's a Pokemon Center up ahead, I'm not sure how close or how far it is, but we're going to keep going for now. Sure, hopefully when we practice against her, her Pokemon will evolve into Starmie, Arcanine, and Nidoqueen. So that would be a really good team for a cool trainer at this stage in the game. Maybe they're saving some of the better teams for Kanto, but I don't know. I feel like the cool trainers in Generation 1 were actually really powerful. And a Fisherman. This should be a good matchup, as long as he doesn't have like a bunch of Gyarados. Quillfish. Alright, so Petal Dance won't be super effective, but Petal Dance is not a contact move, whereas Return is. So I don't want to get poisoned by Poison Point. Therefore, Petal Dance it is. And even though we're now locked in for a while, there's a good chance, being a fisherman, that his other Pokemon are also Water type. 2 Quillfish. Tell me he does not have 3 Quillfish. That'd be really, really boring. I guess these trainers are sort of like the warm-up trainers. Hopefully the trainers in Victory Road will be a little more formidable. Seeking, okay, that's a little better. At least it's a fully evolved Pokemon. I would imagine that a Petal Dance would still be a one-shot. And we got lucky that it lasted 3 turns. Alright, down goes Seeking. Good job, Cherry. Our new highest level Pokemon, excluding Ho-Oh. It's funny that Ho is level 45 and it's going to be outclassing our Pokemon for quite a while. It's definitely going to be overpowered if you choose to take it to the Pokemon League, but hey, if that's what you want to do, then have fun. Another Psychic here. Wow, look at all those badges, I'm impressed. But you're not satisfied by collecting them, right? Nope, time to use them. I wonder if these guys all have the badges as well. Espeon, okay, that's impressive. Not actually as high level as the Kimono Girls Espeon, which we fought a long time ago. Espeon has, I'm pretty sure, lower defense than special defense. So let's use Return. They'll probably do about the same amount of damage, but why not? Psybeam, so it doesn't even know Psychic yet. Or if it does, it's not using it for some reason. Definitely not as strong as the Kimono Girls. Alright, nicely done, Cherry. Good battle. Was it, though? I guess it was better than some of the other ones I've had. Oh, so we can jump down here. But I don't think I want to. Is there an item down here? Let's do it. Oh, where are we now? Were we here before? We weren't. But I don't know if we could get to this water before. Actually, we probably can. It's probably the pier right over there. So let me just make sure there's no items here. Oh, big mushroom. We can sell that for money. That's one of those items we could have bought from the bargain shop if it hadn't been unexpectedly closed. Maybe it was closed for being a holiday. It was Christmas Eve after all, but the game doesn't have a calendar, so it doesn't make a lot of sense. It just has days of the week. One of the later games has seasons in it, but I think the seasons are actually like really, really quick. It's not like real life seasons, which would have been cool. I think it's Gen 5, because there's that one Pokemon that's like a deer Pokemon. I can't remember its name, but it has 4 different... Sawsbuck, something like that. And it has 4 Pokemon, or 4 different seasons. 4 different forms for each season is what I'm trying to say. Actually, bit of a sneak preview, I'm thinking about training a Sawsbuck when we get to Generation 5. Still a ways to go, so no promises, but I was looking for good grass types, and even though it has kind of a low base stat total, it has some good moves, and oh, we're below the pier, that's annoying. That's, yeah, that's not great. Alright, well, I don't want to use a repel just because we're not going to be in grass for a bit. It's kind of a waste of steps. And I guess these Tentacle being level 30 are good XP. In fact, if you don't have a full team by this point, I would recommend at least catching some of the Pokemon around Victory Road, just because... Oh, please don't confuse me. You might as well round out your team, better than having like level 10 Hoot Hoot or whatever you have with you at the moment. You won't need HM Pokemon when you're facing the Pokemon League. So, I mean, grab a Tentacle, train at 1 level, you'll have a Tentacruel. Might be strong enough to survive an attack from a Elite Four Pokemon. Alright. I may use a Max Repel on the way back. Ah, didn't want to KO it. Barrier, that's an old Gen 1 move you don't see very often. I remember Mewtwo could learn Barrier, and you could teach it like Amnesia and Barrier. Amnesia would raise its special by 2 points, Barrier its defense by 2 points, and it became like almost impossible to take it down. You could teach it like... Is there really nothing here? There better be something here. There is a nugget. Okay. We can sell that for money to make up the cost of these Max Repels we're about to use. Alright, onward we go. I'll do like one more battle and then we will end the episode here. I might get some food and then continue on. It's been a busy day, so even though I should be like doing other things right now, I feel like I've been very busy, very productive today, and I deserve to play a little bit of Pokemon Heartgold. So we'll keep going for a while. We might not face the Pokemon League tonight, but we'll probably at least get to them. And who knows, I might. We'll see how things shake out. The night is young, as they say, and I'm not going to make the mistake of jumping down there again. In fact, is there like a... There's a... Okay, so there's a rest stop here, too. So this Victory Road is actually pretty generous. Yes, I am very lucky. Thank you. Aw, she looks forward to people's smiles. Must be a nice job being a Pokemon healer on one of these busy routes. Seeing all the young children training their Pokemon. Let's see if I can get that berry before she sees me. Nope, fail. She did a fake out there where she turned south and then turned right back. Yeah, so we'll keep going. Ace Trainer Joyce, Pikachu, and... I want to say Pikachu and Chansey. No idea why. Pikachu does have static, but I don't know if these moves would one-shot it or not. And there's only a 30% chance, so let's go for it. I'd feel more comfortable if I had Guts as my ability, because even if I get paralyzed, at least I get the attack boost from it. But I don't. I have Swarm. And it's very unfortunate that I don't think Rod learns any... Oh, Blastoise. Wow, that's cool. A very respectable choice. I don't think Heracross learns Mega Horn to like level 50-something, so a long ways off. And I'm pretty sure that's the only Bug-type move it can learn. It can't learn like U-Turn. It could probably learn Fury Cutter from like a move tutor, but we won't see one of those for a while, and Fury Cutter's not very good anyway. So now Mega Horn is like the perfect move for Rod. It's another 120 base power move. Only 85. Wow, is that a crit? That's not a crit. Whoa, Blastoise is not playing around here. But neither is Rod. Not afraid to use the power points because we can just heal up right next door. So it'll have 2 stab base 120 power moves. And right now my Swarm would kick in. So Mega Horn would have done a ton of damage if I had it to use. Alright, very nice. Alright, so let's get that Apricorn. Blue Apricorn, yay! I think we have plenty of Pokeballs at this point, but why not? Alright, so I'm going to heal up real quick, and then we will come back, and we will head onward to Victory Road. Should be a lot of fun. I will see you guys then.